Hello students, so this is your chapter number 4, moving charges and magnetism, and we are going to solve the MCQs which are more likely to be asked in your board exam. So without wasting any kind of time, we'll start with MCQ number 1. Consider a tightly wound 100-ton coil of radius 10 centimeter carrying a current of 1 ampere. Okay, so there is a tightly wound 100-ton coil, so you can consider it as a ring of 100 tons, right? So n is equals to 100 and radius is given as 10 centimeter, so that will be 10 raised to minus 1 meter. 10 into 10 raised to minus 2, right? So that will be 10 raised to minus 1 meter. Okay, it is carrying a current of 1 ampere, so I is given as 1 ampere. You have been told to calculate the magnitude of magnetic field at the center. This is your textbook exercise, textbook example, right? I think it will be a textbook sum. So basically we want to find the magnetic field at the center. So for the ring, magnetic field at the center is mu naught Ni by 2r, right? For the axis it was mu 0 Ni a square upon 2 times upon 2 into a square plus x square raised to 3 by 2, right? That is magnetic field for a ring along the axis. For the center it will be mu naught Ni by 2r. Substitute the values. Mu naught 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7, number of turns 100, current 1 upon 2 into 10 raised to minus 1. So this will be 2. So 2 pi into minus 5 plus 10 raised to minus 5 plus 1, 10 raised to minus 4. So 2 into 3.14, so that will be 6.28 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. This is your answer. So it is option number 2. This is your correct answer. Clear? So the next one. Okay, the next one. What is the magnitude of magnetic field at the center for the figure shown below? Current of 12 ampere is flowing through the wire. See, this is the figure, this is the diagram. You need to calculate the magnetic field at the center. Current of 12 ampere is flowing through the wire. Okay. See, basically this is a semicircle and you want to calculate the magnetic field at the center. First of all, magnetic field will not be produced because of this part and this part, because from Biot-Savart's law, magnetic field is cross product of IDL and R, right? IDL cross R. So this portion is here, so IDL represents the current element, right? And this will be R represents a position vector, so this is your R, this is the center. You are getting the point? This portion IDL, and we need to calculate magnetic field at the center, right? So R is also in the same direction, so IDL is parallel to R, so theta is 0, so cross product IDL and R will be 0. So magnetic field will not be produced because of this portion of the wire. Similarly, magnetic field will not be produced over here because of this portion also, because for this portion IDL is in this direction, now R will be in this direction. So they are at 180 degree, but again cross product of two parallel or anti-parallel vectors will always be 0. So neither this portion nor this portion will be able to produce magnetic field at the center. So magnetic field will be produced only because of this semicircular part of radius 2 centimeter. And in the question you have been told to calculate the magnitude. That means we don't need to find out the direction, we just need to calculate the magnitude. Okay, so for a complete circle, for a complete ring, magnetic field at the center is mu naught I by 2r. This is when the length is 2 pi r. For a complete ring, magnetic field at the center is mu naught I by 2r. But here it is a semicircle, that means the length is pi r. So what will be the magnetic field? So B dash into 2 pi r will cross multiply equals to mu naught I by 2r into pi r gets cancelled. Fine. So B dash is equals to mu naught I by 4r, right? Let us substitute the values. Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7, current is of 12 ampere upon 4 and radius is given as 2 centimeter. Okay. this will get cancelled 6 times, so this will be 6 pi into, this will be plus 2 minus 7 minus 5, right? So 3.14 into 6, it will be 18 point something, so 19. Okay, so all the options are given. 3.14 into 6, 428.18, right? So that is 19 into 10 raised to minus 5, right, approximately. So it will be 1.9 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla. Clear? So okay, so fine, this is the correct answer. 1. So B is the correct answer. Clear? Fine. The next one. Okay, the third one. Which of the following is the value of Bohr's magneton? I think the unit of Bohr's magneton was asked in the board exam. Okay, which of the following is the value of Bohr's magneton? Well, we know that M by L is equals to E by 2me. This is your gyromagnetic ratio. Ratio of magnetic moment upon angular momentum is equals to E by 2me, which is 8.8 into 10 raised to 10 coulomb per kilogram. That is the ratio of gyromagnetic. That means it is gyromagnetic ratio, right? And angular momentum is nh by 2 pi, integral multiple of h by 2 pi, right? L minimum will be equals to h by 2 pi. We'll take n equals to 1 and represents the orbits, right? Fine. So substitute in this equation, m will be equals to E by 2me into L. So this will be E by 2me into L is h by 2 pi. So gyromagnetic ratio, Bohr's magneton will be E into h upon 4 pi into me, right? So substitute the values. E 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, that is charge of electron. H is Planck's constant, 6.625 into 10 raised to minus 34 upon 4 into 3.14 into mass of electron. On solving this, you will get this answer. You can directly remember the value also, that the value of Bohr's magneton is 9.27 into 10 raised to minus 24 ampere meter square. Clear? Fine. The next one. Okay, fourth one. What is the resistance of ideal ammeter? Well, what do you mean by ammeter? A combination of galvanometer and shunt. Low value resistance connected in parallel to galvanometer, that is known as shunt. So combination of galvanometer and shunt together, this combination is known as ammeter, right? And the resistance of this ideal ammeter will be 0. Resistance of ideal ammeter will be 0. This combination is known as ammeter, right? Galvanometer and parallel to it a shunt. Shunt means a low value resistance which is connected to protect the galvanometer and to get the actual value of current, right? So this combination is termed as ammeter, and the resistance of ideal ammeter is always 0. Fine. The next one. Okay, the fifth one. Long horizontal wire. Long wire means we'll consider it to be infinitely long wire. It is carrying a current of 35 ampere. This is a long horizontal wire. It's carrying a current of 35 ampere. What is the magnitude of the field at a point 20 centimeter from the wire? That means somewhere here, 20 centimeter. What is the magnitude of magnetic field at this point? So for an infinitely long wire, magnetic field is mu naught I by 2 pi r. The chapter is completely based on the formulas. B is equals to mu naught I upon 2 pi r. For an infinitely long wire, right? Long wire means infinitely long wire. Substitute the values. 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7, current is of 35, 2 pi, and the distance is 20 centimeter. 20 into 10 raised to minus 2. So this will be 2, 10, right? So 10 raised to minus 1, it will go here. So it will be 35 into 10 raised to minus 6 Tesla. 35 into 10 raised to minus 6, or you can say 3.5 into 10 raised to minus 5, all means the same. So this is your answer. Clear? Clear? Very long wire, or it will be equals to infinitely long wire, and for an infinitely long wire we are having the formula mu naught I by 2 pi r. Clear? The next one, sixth one. What is the direction of magnetic field inside a toroid? Well, this is a good question. Magnetic field, direction of magnetic field inside a toroid. See, toroid this way, right? And the turns are wound this way. Current will be flowing inside this turn. That means current will be flowing this way. This way. Let this be ampere and loop. So the direction of magnetic field will be, see, this is how the current will be passed. This way. It will go in this, it will go into the turns this way. This way. This is how the current will be flowing, right? Current will not flow this way, it will flow into the turns this way. So if this is how the current is going this way, so magnetic field will be here. This is the turn, magnetic field will be here. Here the current is in this direction, so magnetic field will be this way. Once again, current will be flowing into the turns which are wound along the toroid, wound round the toroid this way. Current will be flowing this way. Clear? So magnetic field, this is how the current is flowing. So magnetic field will be here. It will be in this direction. If this is the turn, magnetic field will be in this direction. So that means magnetic field will be here, this way, this way, this way. This is the turn. So this is the direction of tangent. This is how the magnetic field will be. The direction of magnetic field will be inside the toroid. So it will be tangential to the toroid. And that is why both B and dl are in same direction. So integration B dot dl will be equals to B dl cos 0. This is what you must have learned in the derivation, right? Because the angle between B and dl is 0, because both displacement vector and magnetic field, they are in same direction. So cos 0 will be 1. Clear? Fine. The next one, seventh one. What is the radius of a path of an electron of mass 9 into 10 raised to minus 31 kilogram and 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb charge moving at a speed of 3 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 10 raised to plus 7 meter per second in the magnetic field of 6 into 10 raised to minus 4. This must be your this must be the question of your textbook, I think. Each and every values are given. You just need to put the formula for the radius. So radius of the path is given by mv by qb. This you must have learned in the topic cyclotron. So mass is given as 9 into 10 raised to minus 31. Velocity is given as 3 into 10 raised to 7 upon charge is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 and magnetic field 6 into 10 raised to minus 4. Solve this, you will get the radius of the circular path. It will be 28 centimeter. So D is the correct answer. You just have to put up the formula R equals to mv by qb. M is the mass, V is the velocity, Q is the charge and B is the magnetic field. Clear? Done. The next one. Eighth one. If a radius of circular path is made double, that means if you are making R double, frequency will become, let us find the relation between radius and frequency, right? Okay, so radius R is equals to mv by qb. Yes, R is also equals to m. Instead of v, I can write it as omega R by qb. R gets cancelled. So omega is qb by m. But what is omega? 2 pi f. So this will be 2 pi f equals to qb upon m. So f will be equals to qb by 2 pi m. So in the formula of frequency, there is no radius. That means frequency does not depend on r. It is independent of radius. So if you are making the radius of the path double, then frequency will remain the same. So this will be the answer. It will remain the same. Clear? It does not depend on the radius. Fine. The next one. Okay, ninth one. Which of the following is gyromagnetic ratio? It's very easy. Gyromagnetic ratio means ratio of charge of electron upon 2 times mass of electron. Right? That means this is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 upon 2 into 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31. That is mass of electron. Clear? So this will be 8.8 into 10 raised to 10 coulomb per kilogram, because it is the ratio of E by 2m, where E represents the charge. So unit will be coulomb per kilogram. So A is your answer. A is the correct option. Clear? Fine? Very easy. The next one. Okay, the 10th one. 3 centimeter wire carrying a current of 10 ampere is placed inside a solenoid, okay, perpendicular to the axis of the solenoid. So this is a solenoid, right? You are placing a 3 centimeter wire carrying a current of 10 ampere perpendicular to the axis of the solenoid. So this will be the axis of the solenoid. So you are placing the wire this way. This way. This is your wire. Okay. So wire is placed perpendicular to the axis and it is carrying a current of 10 ampere. So current is of 10 ampere. What is the magnetic force on the wire? Wire will experience a magnetic force because of the magnetic field of the solenoid, right? That means the magnetic field of the solenoid will be in this way, either this way or this way. So this is how the magnetic field of the solenoid will be. So ILB, it is perpendicular. Wire is in this direction. Magnetic field is in this direction. So the angle between IL and B is 90 degree. So we need to calculate the force acting on the wire. So force on a current carrying wire placed in a magnetic field is always IL cross B, right? IL cross B. So this will be equals to ILB sine theta. So theta here is 90 because the wire is placed perpendicular to the axis. That means magnetic field will be in this direction. Wire is placed this way. So the angle between IL and B is DL and B is 90 degree. So this will be ILB. Substitute the values. Current is of 10 ampere, length 3 centimeters, so that is 3 into 10 raised to minus 2. Magnetic field is of 0.27 Tesla. Clear? So this will be 2.7, this will be 2.7 into 3 into 10 raised to minus 2. So 1, 2. 8.1 into 10 raised to minus 2. This will be the force, right? So that means B is the correct answer. 8.1 into 10 raised to minus 2. Clear? Fine. The next one. 11th one. What is the unit of figure of merit of galvanometer? Figure of merit means it is reciprocal of current sensitivity. This was your current sensitivity. Reciprocal of current sensitivity is termed as figure of merit. It is generally denoted by K. K is 1 upon current sensitivity. So it will be I upon phi, right? Reciprocal of current sensitivity. I upon phi. So unit of I is ampere radian. Phi is the angle, deflection. It will be measured in radian. Current will be measured in ampere. So unit of current sensitivity is ampere per radian. This is your correct option. Clear? Fine. The next one. 12th one. What is the work done by the magnetic force on a charge performing uniform circular motion in a uniform magnetic field perpendicularly? Okay, that means charge is performing uniform circular motion in a say magnetic field, uniform magnetic field, this way. So we need to find the work done by the magnetic force. See, if charge is performing uniform circular motion this way, velocity will be in this direction, right? Magnetic force will be, magnetic force is Q into V cross B, Q into V cross B. V is in this direction, B is into the plane, so V cross B. Force will be in this direction. There is no problem if you are taking magnetic field outside the plane, then force will be in this direction. Fine. Now velocity is in this direction, so displacement vector will also be in the same direction. So the angle between F and D is 90 degree, right? So what is the definition of work done? F dot D, dot product of F and D. A dot B is defined as AB cos theta, so this will be FD cos theta. But in the present case, theta is 90, right? The angle between F and D. So this will be FD cos 90, that is 0. So the work is done by the magnetic force on a charge performing uniform circular motion in a uniform magnetic field. So your work done is 0. Fine. So we have solved the MCQs of chapter number 4, and in the next video we'll solve the MCQs of chapter number 5. Thank you.